Well, hello, let me start by telling you what big data actually is. In fact, it is the ability of society to harness information to produce useful insights and services of significant value. Kenneth Cookie was able to perfectly demonstrate the positive use of big data in the 21st century in his book. In 2009, a new flu was discovered which had infected and even killed a huge amount of people. What is even worse is the fact that there was no ready-to-use vaccine for people. To slow its spread was the only right way. So how did they manage to do that? At that time, Google was already ahead of others, and by analyzing billions of search queries that they receive and save every day, they were able to predict the spread of the winter flu in the US and prevent it by narrowing down the specific words and terms that people used to try and find about their illness on the internet and creating a new system. This suggests that collecting data from simple Google searches made it possible to stop the horrible flu. But does this example suggest that collecting data from citizens is always a good idea or not? In terms of finding a good example in media text of the use of big data, in my opinion, the way in which the episode of Black Mirror called Be Right Back was able to demonstrate that was incredible. So, what it is about? It all happens in the near future. Ash, who is Martha's boyfriend, dies in a car crash shortly after they moved to a new house. After his funeral, one of Martha's friends decided to sign her up to a service where she would be able to chat via text to her dead beloved one by accessing his social media and any data in general found on the internet. Although being initially very angry after starting to use this service, she was extremely shocked because of how accurate it was able to recreate the way he texted or what words he would normally use by just using the online data that was stored about him. So when she decided to update this service to be able to talk to him via phone, she became obsessed with it, talking to him 24/7 because of how real it felt, as if Ash never even died, because the service was even able to copy his voice and his habit. This just shows the power of big data nowadays and how much there is information about us and how much we actually put online about our lives, that a service like that was able to fully recreate that person by only using the stored data which was found online. But the question is, what if all this data that you put online, like your name and home address, would be stolen by some hackers? Recently, Equifax, one of the largest American credit agencies, was hacked, and as a result, hackers were able to steal the personal information of 143 million Americans. For example, their names, dates of birth, home addresses, social security numbers, and even credit card details. The fact that its only purpose as a corporation is to safely store people's most personal information, and they still weren't able to do that, is quite bad, right? And overall, the internet made me realize that big data is actually not always a good thing for our society. Yes, it did help people to stop the flu in the US by just analyzing the online data, which is absolutely incredible. Yes, it made it possible to recreate a dead person in the future, as shown in the Black Mirror. But making customers into danger because some hackers were able to hack and get all the information about who you are and where you live is scary and not worth it. Hello, my name is Ksenia and I never lied. Joking. Sometimes it is okay to lie because it might save your friendship or even save your life. However, nowadays online deception and fraud became a part of our daily life. As with the growth of internet and social media, modern technologies have simply provided us with a new place to lie or even troll people. Anonymity is the reason for that. No needing wearing wigs or fake beard, as now you can create a fake account with a fake name, different gender or age, or even use a different photo to pretend to be someone else while sitting at home with your laptop. In the book Truth, Lies and Trust on the Internet, Monica Whitty found out that men and women admitted to lying in chat rooms about their age, gender, occupation, education and income. Younger people were more likely to lie about their age than older people. Men were significantly more likely to lie about their occupation, income and education. Seems to look pretty innocent, right? Like, who didn't lie about their age? However, phishing is an example of an online fraud where swindlers attempt to get people to enter their password and username into a fake website to then use them to access the real account and steal money. This suggests that online deception can be actually different, either innocent or harming. The film that I thought shows the online fraud the best is the film called Nerve, the main idea of which is that there's an online reality game where people either enlist online as players and accept dares or pay to watch as watchers. Using Periscope-like video streaming, game participants take their requests from anonymous watchers. You might think, how is it related to online fraud? In fact, when the main character signed up to this game, it was able to collect all her personal data, which was then used to steal all her money from the bank account due to the fact that she failed after one of the dares. The creators of the game were actually anonymous and had power to manipulate participants by knowing everything about them and having access to their banking details while also receiving money from all the anonymous watchers who were excited to see all the extreme dares and dangerous tasks. This film highlighted the dangers of social media and the idea that anonymity can absolve you of responsibility, as these game creators did not worry about what was going to happen to a player during each dangerous dare, because they were just sat at home looking at the monitors, receiving thousands of dollars and not caring about the consequences of the game. Going back to online dating scams, recently BBC News posted an article where it was found that the number of people defrauded in the UK by online dating scams reached a record high in 2016 with over 3,000 victims. One of the victims, a 47-year-old woman who signed up to a dating site Match.com, sent over £300,000 to a man who persuaded her that he has been mugged and now was not unable to pay for his son's surgery, who was in hospital, money needed to pay rent while he was unable to return to the UK, where he and the victim were about to meet. Overall, this recent incident shows how easily it became for scammers to fraud innocent, lonely people by getting inside their heads and playing with their emotions to get their hands on people's money by using internet. Well, hello. Algorithm. What exactly are algorithms and how they're related to internet and social media? Have you even noticed this consistent pattern? You, for example, are scrolling through an online shop and liked a couple of clothes there, you looked at them but decided not to get them, and after a couple of days you open your Facebook page and see an advert of this exact online shop with the exact clothes that you liked. In the article about the algorithmic imaginary by Ksenia Butcher, she was able to explain in one sentence the way of how algorithms work. All the clicks and browser behavior are tracked and used to create adverts online, which most of the time should be suited to your taste and needs. When we're looking for something online, Google's algorithm help us for not having to sort and search through not relevant to us results. However, by using algorithms, advertisers and government agencies have a power of manipulating us or what we do or buy next by analyzing us and our online data. But doesn't it all seem to look quite creepy and scary and make it seem like there's no longer privacy existed in anything we do nowadays? The film Ex Machina illustrated the way how algorithms work by creating some sort of relationship in the movie between Ava, a robotic body but human-looking face, and a programmer Caleb Smith. The robot expresses a romantic interest in him and starts manipulating him by pretending to like Caleb, so he would help her to escape from a lab where she was created. Throughout the film, the robot Ava demonstrated true intelligence by the way she was able to analyze Caleb's behavior and think through how she should talk to him, what she should do to make him have feelings for her by using algorithms and the data stored about him in the internet. This example is quite related to what is happening in the world right now, as advertising and marketing companies or various agencies do use algorithms to create a closer connection between their potential customers and their brand by understanding their preferences and tastes. News. Recently, there have been a lot of articles related to Google and YouTube and how their algorithm is actually not perfect and not working as well as they thought it would, as it fails to filter the harmful and inappropriate content for children who were just trying to watch a cartoon on YouTube. New York Times posted a critical essay from a writer, James Brittle, who investigated how much questionable and traumatizing child-oriented programming is on YouTube, which could potentially affect and disturb them. Overall, YouTube is facing the same problems as Twitter and Facebook: content management and lack of oversight. These companies are way too big to be able to check every single tweet, video, or Facebook post. What does it mean? It means that even though algorithm does successfully work most of the time to protect our children from the terrible adult content, sometimes it still fails, meaning that the internet is still not a safe place for kids.